There's nothing wrong with you. I just want to tell you that now. There's nothing wrong with you. You are the way you are. You are the way God made you, and He wired you that way. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's not bad to be different. I mean, we're all wired differently. Just because you don't think the same way someone else does doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means they see it from a different perspective. They see it from a different light. But that's the beautiful thing about life. We all can see things differently from different perspectives. That's why we all come together and we all share harmony. We all share different harmonies. You know, different harmonies create different music, different songs. So in life, we create our own song, quote unquote. We create our own reality. We create our own song. We ever, like, God made us in His own image. He made us in His likeness. He made us in His image. So we are created to create things, to discover things, to learn things. You ever notice, like, when you're a kid, it's easy for you to imagine things and be in that dream state, in that dream realm. But as you grow up, you kind of grow out of that. You kind of depart from that a little bit because you get into the real world. You start thinking about responsibilities. You start thinking about family. You start thinking about jobs and careers and goals and you know, there's nothing wrong with those things. There's nothing wrong. But we got away from the original intent for us to live. We were made to live in this dream world, this dream state, and be creative out of that state. Live from the spirit within you. Live from that creative spirit within you. Be authentic. Don't worry about being different. Don't worry about being like everyone else. Just be you. Just be authentic. And don't apologize for it. No apologies for it. Just be authentic. Be real. Even if it's ugly. Even if it's ugly, just be real. People want real. People want people being real. Like, no one wants someone that's fake. Nobody wants someone that just pretends. That just goes through motions. I hate pretenders. Like, I really do. Like, just to fit into a certain mold. Like, I hate the idea, and this is why I just hate corporate America so much. This is why I'm pressing so much to be an entrepreneur and just get outside the normal. Is because they want you to fit into this certain mold. You ever notice that? Like, you got to be at work on a certain time, and if you're late 1 minute, then they write you up, or you gotta do. Like, everything's based on your performance, on how well you do. It's not based on your character. It ain't even based on what kind of person you are. Everything's based on your performance. That's the way this world is driven. The world that we live in is driven by performance. And I'm not saying performance is a bad thing, because it's good, it's great. But if we're so driven by performance, by what someone else is wanting us to do, then we forget that we have a creative spirit within us that is able to create our own world. We're able to create our own reality because we're so driven by what something's been pre-programmed us to do. It's been predestined, pre-programmed us a fixed reality. Fixed, you make this certain amount of money. You live in this certain amount of community, this certain area. You can have this kind of car. And it ain't even about those things, but it's about, at the end of the day, it's about having control of your world and knowing what world you want to create. We have to go back to the drawing board, guys. We got to go back to the reality of learning to, we got to go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. And as silly as it sounds, like, eat clean, exercise, use your mind, just use common sense stuff that's common sense. Like, we need to go back to the basics of doing things. Getting more organized. Have a routine. Make your own routine. Establish your own routine, not something that's fixed for you. People have a routine, and there's nothing wrong with routines, but people have a routine. They get up, they take care of business, they go to work, they might go to the gym, or they might go hang out with their friends after work, whatever, and then they go home, wash, rinse, and repeat. Do the same thing all over again. A mundane life. There's nothing that changes. It's exactly the same. And there's a lot of human beings out there that are very comfortable with that reality. They love it. They absolutely love it. They love being in that fixed reality. But then there's some of us that hate it. They can't stand it. There's something about it in their spirit. They just know we were created more in this life than to do a 9 to 5. And that's it. Well, you ain't gonna do anything outside of work? Like, just 9 to 5? You're just gonna do a 40-hour week? That's it? Maybe 50? Maybe put in a little overtime? So you're just gonna go to work, pay bills, etc., etc.? That's it? Come on, man. There's gotta be more to life than that. Like, what are we doing? That ain't living. That's just a routine. It's just something you've been programmed to do. But here's the challenge. We got to reprogram that. We got to make our own routine. We got to start our own legacy. Create our own legacy so we can pass it on to our kids. And then when we do pass it on to our kids, we're not forcing it upon them. We're not going to say, like, oh, this is what you need to do. It's just an idea and a suggestion. It's something that has worked. That's what our ancestors has done. They've passed it on to us, saying, hey, this worked for us, so why don't you try it? Well, that worked for you then, but that doesn't mean that's the way it's going to work now. We live in a different modern society. We have to learn to escape the norm, what used to be normal. And if you're working a 9 to 5 job, I'm not picking on you. Like, that's great. That's fine. We all have our duties and responsibilities to take care of. But I just want to challenge you for a moment. Just for a moment. Ask yourself this. Do I want to keep living this, what I'm doing today? Am I happy where I'm at? Do I want to keep living the next 5 years like that? If nothing ever changed, would I be okay doing what I'm doing right now for the next 5 years? And if so, that's fine. Hey, that's great. You're in a good place. If you're okay with that, you can live with that, then fine. But if not, if you're like me and you're just like, man, I'm just tired of this. Like, it's old. It's old, Listen. Excuse me. Listen to your spirit. What is your spirit telling you to do? If your spirit's saying, hey, stay at the job, then hey, do that. Do that. That's perfectly fine. But if it's like, man, I want to take a leap of faith and start my own business. Start something. Just try something. Just try something new. Don't be afraid to fail. If you fail, so what? I mean, it's not the end of the world. Live below your means. Buy things you can afford. Just common sense stuff, We got to get back to the basics. We got to get back to the fundamentals. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to risk it all. Because what are you really risking? Stuff? Materialistic things that come and go? You get one shot. at living on this earth. I mean, yeah, once you pass from this life, and you know Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, you know, you go to heaven, obviously. But here in this physical body, you get one opportunity to leave your mark in the earth, to leave a legacy, whatever that may be. And there's different ways of doing that. There's no one fixed way to leave a legacy. You can do that any way you want to. But go back to the drawing board. Meditate, pray in the Spirit, you know, get along with God, find out what it is, you know, He might want you to do. He might give you a new idea. He might give you instruction. First, He will give you an instruction, actually. He's given me an instruction. He told me to start running, to start jogging, running, exercising. Well, I mean, I already work out, but it's just a new rhythm of working out. It's just something different. So today I decided to just go out on a nature trail and just run. Just do something different. Run. Go for a run. Eat something different. Eat different foods. Don't eat the same foods all the time. Quit eating fast foods. Quit eating garbage. Quit eating potato chips. Quit drinking sodas. Stop. Don't drink alcohol. Whatever you do, do not stop drinking. It's stupid. It's not doing anything for you. Get outside of that. You know, if you want to be different. Now, if you just want to be the same and you just want to live a normal, you know, mundane life, and then yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. This video ain't for you. But for those who really want to make a difference and want to change their lives, you got to break out of that barrier of that where you're comfortable at. That's all it is. You're just comfortable going through the same routine. You don't know what else to do. You don't know what else to do. That's the problem. You don't know what else to do. Well, the way you get more creative ideas, you got to start getting alone with God. However that is. You got to find time. He was like, I don't have time. Well, you got to make time. Whether that's riding down the road or you alone in your room, whatever it is, however you got to do it, just do it. Get out of your head. Get out of this. Get out of this. Get free. Free your mind. And by free, you free your mind, you get into the Word. You get into the Word of God. Take a couple scriptures. You don't have to read a whole book. I mean, reading is great. We need to read. We need to read more. I need to read more. I've been reading more. But just take a couple scriptures, memorize them, quote them, memorize them in your spirit, in your mind, and then, you know, when challenging times come, when challenging things confront you, don't be afraid. Use them scriptures. Use that word. Remember that word. Remember the Lord thy God, for it is He that giveth the power to get wealth. Wealth is more than money. Wealth is health. Wealth is a healthy mindset. Wealth is a mentality. So, remember these scriptures. Write them down. Remember them. Learn to love yourself again. Go back to the basic fundamentals. We gotta stop trying to be someone's hero. You gotta be your own hero first. So, that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I hope this has encouraged you, it's blessed you, it's lifted your spirits up. Until next time, love you. Peace. See you on the next video.